Okay, in this lesson we're going to talk about polygons. Now, we're going to focus just today on the first two polygons, triangles and quadrilaterals. And then we will continue on with this lesson tomorrow and we'll learn about some of the other polygons as well. But if I'm looking at just a triangle for a moment here, I know the triangle has three sides. So if I'm looking at that triangle, well, I can't really, if I start at this vertex here that's highlighted, I can't really draw in the diagonal because both of the other vertices are adjacent to that vertex. So it doesn't really have a diagonal. So then after I draw the diagonal, which I can't, if I count how many triangles I see, there's one triangle. So if there are three sides, there's one triangle. Now, we already learned earlier in the semester that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay, so for now, just write that in your notes. You don't have to copy this entire table, but we know that a triangle, the sum of the measures of the interior angles is 180 degrees. So now let's focus on the quadrilateral. So we see four sides. Now if I start with this highlighted vertex and I draw a diagonal in, there's one there. Okay, so now if I were to count how many triangles there are, I can see that there are two. One, two. That's supposed to be a two. So there are two triangles. And we know that each triangle, the sum of the interior angles is 180 degrees. So there's four sides, there's two triangles, and when I multiply 180 for each triangle times 2, I get 360 degrees. So we know that every quadrilateral has the sum of the interior angles is 360 degrees. Okay, and again, we'll look at the rest of these in tomorrow's lesson, but for now, we really just want to know that the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So let's take a look at this example. Go ahead and put it in your notes. I do have a quadrilateral here, and if I know that the sum of the interior angles is 360 degrees, I can set up an equation which says 70 plus another 70 plus 110 plus x, and we know that that's going to equal 360 degrees. So I'm going to combine like terms and solve for x. So 70 and 70 is 140. 140 and 110 is 250 plus 1x is equal to 360. So if I subtract 250 from 360, I get x, which is equal to 110 degrees. Taking a look at the second example. Again, we do have a quadrilateral. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to set 2x plus 10 plus 115 plus 4x plus 85, and I'm going to go ahead and set that equal to 360 degrees because it is a quadrilateral. So let's combine like terms. 2x plus 4x is 6x. 10 and 115 is 125. 125 and 85 is 125 and 5 is 130. 130 and 80 is 210. So let's just check that, make sure we have that right. 85 and 10 is 95. 95 and 5 is 100. 100 and 110 is 210. Yep, 210 plus 6x equals 360. So subtracting 210 from each side, that gives me 6x is equal to 150 degrees. So dividing each side by 6. So I know that that's 25 degrees. Now, this question's not asking for me to find x, so it's asking me to find the measure of angle Q. So I'm going to go here to angle Q, and I see that the measure of angle Q is equal to 2x plus 10. So 2 times 25 plus 10, which is 50 plus 10, which is 60 degrees. So the measure of angle Q is 60 degrees. Okay. Now, we've done a couple examples here. You should try these problems in your packet, which will give you practice on similar problems.